In 1959, when I started, there was 96 cinemas in Liverpool alone. The original name, everybody we were just called operators. But we had some people in the industry who said, oh no, the proper word for it is a projectionist. You are projecting Hollywood, you are projecting the movies. You're not operating Hollywood, you're projecting it and projecting it to paid customers. And the word projectionist has stuck all this time. The industry is moving very fast to total digitisation of their cinemas, and they don't really need the film projectionists of my era. They can train popcorn sellers, doormen, even managers to push buttons. The hands-on technical experience of us guys, it doesn't bear any relation to the digital imaging of now. And really, they can't call themselves a cinema. The word that's been coined is a digima. It's a digital imaging unit. It is not a cinema showing celluloid. Well, that's end out now. So I've got to rewind it back to the beginning, and then I'm going to put it on the projector. Film is celluloid, and the difference being, celluloid is a flexible ribbon of film with a coating of emulsion on one side to reflect light. A digital image isn't doing that because it's so many pixels on a chip. It's two different technologies. But the disadvantage of it is that you don't need it may not be a disadvantage. The advantage is you can have any number of them. You can have any number of film really, but the more cinemas you've got, the more staff you require. There is a computer in the model cinema that controls the digital imaging and the digital projection. And digital has made it easy to do away with people. That is not what the cinema industry is all about. It's not the way to run a business. But at the bottom line, they're saving money on staff wages, which is one of the biggest cost factors. Right, well that's ready for showing. But the public are beginning to get wise to it all, because apart from the lack of staff, the cost of seat prices have gone up, and the extortionate cost of what they call the concessionary sales, ice cream, popcorn, drinks, hot dogs. In some cases, the cost of the concessionary is higher than the cost of the ticket to get you into the cinema in the first place. So, it's not uncommon for people to tell you, a husband and wife and a couple of kids going to the pictures, it's costing them £60 to go to the pictures just for one presentation. You couldn't do it on a regular basis. They're pricing themselves out of the market. Run it in. Okay. Yes, well, we put a 2,000 foot spool into the top spool box, and we're just threading the film now through the fire trap, round the top sprocket. Just check that it's feeding okay, and then the film is going into the picture gate. There can check once again. If you notice, we have a loop at the top as it feeds down, as more film is fed towards the projector. We leave a loop at the top. We have a loop at the bottom which takes up the projected film, and then we go into the sound head at the bottom, which is approximately 18 inches ahead of the picture. And then we go into the bottom fire trap, and then the film is taken up on the bottom spool. Just check once again, just check the loops, make sure the film is on the sprockets, it's scanning in the sound head, and then we'll just run a little bit of film to make sure it's running okay. And that film is now ready to go on the screen. So if we're ready, we'll let it run. I started in the industry as a trainee or apprentice, straight from school. I left school in 1959, and I got a job at a local suburban cinema called Plaza at Allerton, which a lot of people in Liverpool know famously because it had a big fish pond in the foyer, which was made out of solid marble. It was a huge thing, full of goldfish. And that was where I first started in the industry. And when I left school, or just before I left, when the careers master came round, he was asking the boys what we all wanted to do when we left. And I said, I'd like to work in the cinema. And he thought, oh, no, he said, I think you'd be better off in a proper job. And I said, well, what do you mean by a proper job? He said, 9 to 5, he said, in an office. And I thought, no, I don't want to do that, that's not me. And I got a job at the Plaza as the apprentice, which did help because my mother knew the wife of a chief projectionist at the time, so she put a word in for me. But yeah, I got the job, and I've been very lucky, and I've had 50 years out of an industry which everybody said was dying or was about to die. It's vastly different now, of course, but at that time, 4 of my friends, we all left school. We all got the job we wanted to do and was working in the movies. As I said before, projecting Hollywood. But we always thought we were artists in one respect, but we were never appreciated by the industry. They didn't appreciate us. All the art and everything else went to the actors, the actresses, the producers, the directors, the cameramen. But we were the last person in the chain. It was left to us 2 years later to present it out there. And if we cocked it up, the director never got any stick. The manager got it. What's your projectionist doing upstairs? They've ruined the film. And then whatever you do after that, it's gone. You've spoiled the illusion, because movies are an illusion. There's no such a thing as a moving picture. And if you get it wrong, when it goes on the screen, you've only got one attempt to get it right. And it's got to be right first time, every time. And hopefully we get it right every time. There may be slight little glitches. In the old days when they had the carbon arcs, you had to keep a very close eye on it because the light could begin to fade. The picture could go green or slightly blue if it was a black and white picture, and you had to get it back to full black and white, and then keep an eye on it all night. That's why we had all the projectionists we had, because there'd be a man looking after each machine. This year there's close on 400 projectionists been finished up, either retired or made redundant, or some of them have got out of the industry voluntarily because they could see the way it was going. And I think in next year what few projectionists that are left, they will sadly disappear altogether as well.